Okay, so I just need to bust into this video for a little like real life storytelling here. Who is ready for some more garden cleanup and beautification? I know I am. I feel like I have been on a roll getting other areas of my garden cleaned up. And did you ever get the feeling that when certain things start to look nicer, other things start to suffer by comparison? Okay, well, that's this garden over here. Hi, you guys. This is Nicole from My Carolina Garden. My garden is located in Growing Zone 8B and I am in southeastern North Carolina. In my last couple of videos, I was showing you the beautification of my rock garden, which is directly across the yard from where I want to work today. That area looks great, but for people that want to enter my yard and come into the backyard to visit, they have to pass the gross looking spot first. Now on this side, I do have some staples that are already looking good, so at least I don't have to start from like scratch. My hostas are leafing out, that's awesome. My daylilies are leafing out, that's awesome. So I have lots of like fresh greenery in there. My crepe myrtles in the middle are starting to leaf out, and my azaleas are all budded up and about to bloom. So let me just get myself out of the camera and show you some of the things that are happening and what I really need to clean up. So starting from the very edge of the flower bed, because then it travels the whole fence line that way. Let's see what we have over here. First of all, pieces of the fence, the topping that, you know, blow off every once in a while, those really need to get put back up because they don't belong laying in the dirt. Well, there we go with some of the hostas I talked about leafing out. So it looks amazing. I have no complaints about it at all. In this pot here, I have drift roses. It was something I dug out of a different part of the yard. That's got to go in the ground somewhere. I have a crepe myrtle baby in this pot. That's got to go in the ground somewhere. Those two things are not going in the ground in this garden though, so they really probably just have to move. Oh baby, look at the azaleas. So many buds. It is just like purely unbelievable. So I don't know, in the next couple of days, we're going to see lots of open flowers and that's going to be amazing. Down below though, I have my drip irrigation line that is showing. I need mulch. I have to very desperately get behind the daylilies here. Look at this. I have weeds growing. I don't even know. That's some sort of a weed holly growing over there. I got to pull a lot of those things out. The crepe myrtle, oh, little sweetie pie, look at the little fresh growth on there. So I'm happy about that, but I need to get rid of all this dead foliage down below. You ain't seen nothing yet on this side. Yeah, you might think, ooh, it looks so pretty because the creeping phlox does look amazing, but that's kind of it. Oh my gosh, let me show you what else is happening. Let's go to the other side of the phlox real quick. These are my tiger lily bulbs. Oh wait, there's a little dandelion for you. My tiger lily bulbs, they just kind of fall down the hill and start growing wherever they feel like growing. I need to take care of those babies because the tiger lilies are meant to be up in this clump, or they got to be clumped and moved to a different area. And then these green babies are stargazers. Both of them are amazing. In about July, they both bloom at that time. And then the daylilies right behind them. So 3 different sets of lilies all in here, all summer bloomers. They all look fabulous. I need to edge. I need to mulch. Ooh, here's another great example of something I have to do. Liriope, liriope, monkey grass, whatever you want to call it. This is the new growth that's beginning to emerge. Oh yeah, no, this is just a tiger lily starting to pop up in there. I need to cut off this dead, damaged foliage. I need to get that drip irrigation hidden. My dianthus, oh baby, it's starting to look amazing. So some fresh flowers opening up, but you see that sea of buds, that's amazing. Another little dandelion, I don't know what he thinks he's doing there, but look back there, oh my gosh, so many weeds. This was a mandevilla, I believe. It was a white one last year. White did not perform well for me, so I decided not to overwinter it. Back there, oh, gross. This is all wisteria. I took wisteria pieces from the plant. I have 2 plants that I have growing across the yard. And so you can see I'm already leafing out on here a little bit. It's still early. Usually these are like mid to late April bloomers. So this growth is going to happen fast though. Look at underneath this bench. Now, I love my blue garden bench. I set it up beautifully with little vignettes and everything. But honestly, I don't love it sitting on those red paving stones. I only did that to keep the wood up out of the mulch, but it looks awful. I have dollar weed growing underneath it, so that all needs to come out. And then these stalks are ready to be cut. Look at what is happening here. Now this is Texas red star hibiscus. It's a perennial style hibiscus, and the new growth starts from the ground each year. So there was no reason for me to even keep these stalks up. I just do that so I realize, I remember that the plant is here. But the big stalks get to come down now because the Texas red star hibiscus is beginning to grow. So that is the grand overview of all the work that needs to be done. I don't know how much I'll be able to do in one sitting, if you will, but I am going to start with the hibiscus and then start moving my way to the flower bed because, well, if people are going to walk in the yard, they're coming in from right there, so they're going to see this area first. First, I'm going to get rid of this pesky dandelion so we don't have to look at it, but then I want to show you what it looks like underneath my tiger lilies here. Bye-bye. Okay, since we are going to be moving all of these anyway, let's see what we can dig up here. So this is what the roots of the tiger lily looks like. So you see we have a little bulb, a little tiny bulb, and then we have the roots that are coming off of that. This one is actually so clean, it's very, very easy to see. So temporarily I'm going to pot these up because, as I said, they're just kind of all over the place and I want them definitely neatened up. So they're going to go into a pot and then that area can be much cleaner. Okay, so I just need to bust into this video for a little real life storytelling here. I typically don't say exactly what day it is when I'm filming because by the time I film, edit, and post on YouTube, it's a few days later. But in all reality, where I am right now, it's Friday and the prom is tomorrow. So I don't know if there's any timeline confusion, so I'm here to clear that up because here's the thing. It seems that more people are going to be coming here than I originally thought. And I don't know if you're like this, but I have a real desire to make things as beautiful as possible if I can. I have a different job that isn't just gardening all the time, but I am taking today, Friday, to try to figure out how to beautify the spots that are left, not just where the pictures will be taken, but so when people walk in the backyard, it doesn't look like such a mess. It's a little bit stressful. So here's the real life part of things. It is about 7:15 in the morning right now, and my son is going to be leaving on a journey. He's been traveling around the country in a pickup truck that he converted to live in. He was home for a little bit and now he's going back out and he's leaving shortly. So I have to say goodbye to him, which I'm super proud of him, but as a mom, it's your mom heart is oh my gosh. So he's leaving and then the prom is tomorrow. So I'm going to use my gardening time today as therapy to be okay, goodbye son, have a great time, and okay daughter, let me make this as beautiful as possible in the yard. So I'm going to think about our garden chats though and try not to completely stress myself out and instead really enjoy the process, and little by little it's gonna have to get done. Right here is the perfect example of somewhere that I need to neaten up that I wouldn't ordinarily show on video because it's a small space that is slightly insignificant, but because it's right beside my patio, it has to get done before people come into the yard. This is where the grill is, so again, it's insignificant gardening wise, except that my creeping Jenny grows over here that I take out for a lot of my pot arrangements. But oh my gosh, this space has not been touched yet this whole year, and it looks gross. Of course, this area that I was working on, cool. I just got to really finish what I started. At least I have some of the edging going and stuff like that. And now I feel very fortunate that the azalea is in bloom. So at least between that and then the creeping phlox, which is virtually the same color, those things are at least looking awesome. Those are the planters that I had worked on earlier, so I think they're just staying by the pool. But I had taken all of my landscape lighting out when I was doing the rock garden redo. Whatever, they got to find a home. But look how sloppy it is over here by the greenhouse. So this would be another area that needs some fixing up. Pots and plants. So my husband will come home early from work today. He is going to mow the lawn. So at least that part is all going to be tidied up. It's going to be our first mow of the year already. And I think it's supposed to be cloudy. So even though it's going to hit 80 degrees, cloudy weather is what I like to work in. Let me go say goodbye to my son, and then you're going to see me running all over the place. I picked up these dianthus because they were on clearance, and so it cost $2. I picked these because I thought the colors would be great with the azaleas and the phlox, and then this will be in the middle here. Now these do say annual, which is pretty typical for this style of dianthus, but as you've seen, like in my rock garden and everything, dianthus are not just annual for me, and they get so big over time. And this variety pack is awesome because I have this mix in here. Oh my goodness gracious. With these little cutie pies, I love that two-toned flower petal. Oh my gosh. It says mounding annual, but here in zone 8B, I'm going with mounding perennial. up being a wonderful day. I got so much work done. I feel proud. I feel excited. The weather report is looking good for tomorrow, so I'm excited about that as well. And you know what? I realized that my April garden tour is going to be so awesome because I have refreshed so many of my flower beds like way earlier than I anticipated. I think that's part excitement after a frigid winter and also part, you know, like the mulch going on sale early and things like that. And then of course having prom come super early in the year too. Whoosh! Thanks for hanging out with me today and for watching the beautification that has been happening. I'm glad you also are getting to see my azaleas in full bloom. This is an exciting time that way. I will share some photos of the prom goers in the garden if I am permitted to do so. Stay tuned for that. And until next time, you guys, happy planting.